And you had a wonderful post today called A is for Ambivalence, and it
Mhm.
was a story that was related to life and dreaming. I don't wanna ruin it, so tell us the story.
Absolutely. Yeah. The title actually, came from this snippet of a memory when I woke up. And I often think I love it when mindfulness kind of finds its way into, every waking moment, but sometimes it'll find its way into like my sleeping state as
Mm,
well. And so recently, last week, I had a pesky interpersonal challenge. It wasn't anything, big or drastic or life-threatening in any way, but I was in a detailed conversation with a friend who's known me, and I get this, in the past as being the fixer.
mhm,
And I think what she really wanted was for me to do that for her. And she had some really good reasons, but it was a bit of a growth moment for me to just recognize that I
mhm,
didn't want to lean in, because I didn't think it was good for her,
mhm,
and then in a bigger order kind of way, I didn't think it was good for our relationship because we were beginning to be defined from, I hurt, you fix. It just began to be not good,
mhm,
I think. And so um, I worried, when I kind of defined some boundaries that I had disappointed her. And you
mhm.
know how it is when we do that, and the last thing, and I know I speak for you too, the last thing we want to do is disappoint people around us.
Mhm, mhm.
You yeah,
Right,
you know,
right.
we'll take that and keep on going. But I realized that night when I fell asleep, I had been thinking a lot about, gratitude rituals and the thing I do during the day and the morning, the loving kindness. And, I do something similar in the reverse where at night I tend to express appreciation for the gifts, but the challenges too.
Mhm,
And I've had people before in my life say, why would you do that? Right. And allow the thorns, the things that are annoying to you to be that close, when you're
mhm,
really trying to rest and shut down. But it's a rewind reel for me. And I do get stuck
mhm.
and sometimes can't get out. But for me, it's a taking stock. And I wouldn't know how to not do that before I fall asleep. It's just my pattern. And so when I was doing that, I got stuck focusing on whether or not I made a good decision with this reticence,
Mhm.
that I was feeling about my friend. And then went to sleep. And then I woke up the next morning and, clear as day, my dad, who on Monday, June 10th, will have been gone, for 27 years, long
Wow.
time. But he popped in, to my subconscious sometime overnight. And when I woke up, he was there. I'm like, okay, did I have a lucid dream? Was I thinking about him with intention when I went to sleep? I wasn't sure. But what came through was his presence. And then in this like big, like booming voice, that he had, all he left me with is A. And I'm like, what is that? Where is he going with this? A is for ambivalence. And I when I say it, I kind of feel like I'm like my dad is Cookie Monster, right? He wasn't that bad, but it was very clear. It was very strong and very
Mhm,
pointed. But as I'm kind of wiping the sleep out of my eyes, I am annoyed. I am
mhm,
so annoyed with him. Because if you're going to roll in,
mhm.
do it in some way where you're giving me something I can work with, not
Right.
let's play riddle me this first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
So now I'm like really mad. But then I also know myself. I needed to slow down for a minute to kind of
Mhm,
take it in. And I realized that what he was doing, or what my subconscious was doing, was pulling a thread through,
mhm,
wisdom that I knew, was either there because it's within me,
mhm,
or a recollection, about things from his behavior, or just the genetic soup, right? That is
mhm.
what we are. But this reminder that, ambivalence, if I'm not checking myself, it naturally carries negative connotations
Mhm.
because I don't like to be the waverer. I like to be the person
Mhm.
that's the decider.
Mhm.
And I'm good with making decisions and then rolling back and deciding again. But I realized his, A is for ambivalence was a reminder that pausing is okay,
Mhm.
that being uncertain is okay. Those little moments of grace where you need to let yourself off the hook.
Mhm.
And then this is the kicker, it's the hook that you put yourself on.
Right.
No one did that to me. My friend wasn't upset. She wasn't circling back, and I thought about that if she had come back to me with a plea for more assistance, I know I would have caved. I would have done it,
Mhm.
but she didn't. And I've talked to her since, and we're good. And she came to a solution that I think in the end was probably so much more powerful for her because she put the pieces together.
Mhm.
So I think about that often, related to you, and other parents that I love and adore, because so much of that is just, here are the tools,
Mhm.
right? And make, what you will of this. And so, I think all of that got me thinking about other posts that I've written, one from last November, about lucid dreaming, kind of connecting with whether it's ancestral knowledge, or
Mhm.
like I said, just the genetic soup. But I also realize I don't acknowledge it often enough because I never want to offend.
Mhm.
But people will have a variety of beliefs, and
Right.
what they want to tap into, with their higher power of choice. But for me, I I find I need to get more comfortable saying I do have those prayerful moments,
Mhm.
where I need to connect, and there it's not a money back guarantee kind of thing. You don't always get what you're looking for.
Right.
But it left me thinking, if my dad arrived, with A is for ambivalence, wonder if I could order up a series, right? Could he
Right.
go A to Z?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I need to tell Win about this because maybe you and I focusing on gratitude so much,
Mhm.
maybe B is for bounty. He's like,
That's
ooh,
good. I
right?
I can imagine another sunny word would be is for bravery. And
Oh.
and